began to feel pain and I felt hot all over. And then when I told the people who were in charge, they immediately took me to the clinic. The doctor there gave me immediately some pills because he thought I had had a malaria attack. I went back to our hostel to sleep. And about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there was a cool breeze through the room where I was sleeping. And I felt that this sickness had gone. But 1 hour later, that pain was back. The next day, the doctor gave me 4 of those pills and said, "Don't worry, you're going to get better." And when I got back about 9 o'clock that evening, the people in my hospital realized that there was something wrong with me. They reported it to the police there, and they ordered an ambulance immediately, and I was taken to a local hospital. And on the Wednesday, I felt a bit better. By Thursday, I felt fine. Friday as well. And I even told my parents not to visit me on Friday because I expected to be discharged. When the doctor came about 2 o'clock that afternoon and asked me how I was, I said, "I'm fine and I want to be discharged." And he said, "You know, Lazarus, when you came on the other night, we took x-rays and we discovered that your heart was swollen. And we can't discharge you until the report comes back, the diagnosis, where they're going to analyze your blood." About 5 o'clock that afternoon, I became hot all over. The pain in my head, and I realized, well, if I'd got discharged, this would have happened to me at home. I thought, well, it's good that it started while I was in hospital. About 8 o'clock that evening, one of the nurses came to my bed. And she did something that she had never done all the previous days. And she said to me, "Lazarus, Lazarus, are you saved?" I said, "Of course I'm not saved. Nobody can be saved while still in this world. We'll only be saved when we get to heaven." She said, "No, a person can be saved while still in this world and find the Lord and be set free from his sin." She said one gets the same assurance as one does after writing an exam at school. One usually just has the feeling and the knowledge that, well, I've done well, even though you haven't got the results yet. She said, if you experience that you have departed from your sins and you are now following the Lord and following His law, then you are saved. I denied it and mocked it, and I said, "Man, a person can only be saved in heaven." She left me and went back to her work. In the middle of the night, I experienced my heart suddenly beating rapidly. And then my heart began to change pace, suddenly fast, suddenly slow. And then there was like a clanging sound that was as loud as if it could be heard overseas.
olele duzane nami bakabona action ukuthi ngihamba ngambona afika ngibamba kodwa uma ngibamba ngabona yena ngathi yandiza njengenyoni kufika la ngasabonakala.
And I seemed to notice the person in the next bed trying to pay attention to me, but I felt as if I was disassociated from my body and he was just floating around. I felt my spirit leaving my body. It was painful to me. And I looked and I saw my body lying there, and I realized I am Lazarus, but that is my body. But when I wanted to walk around, I felt that I couldn't. It was as if I was being controlled by something else. And I realized that I was parting from my body and drifting away from it, and I went upwards and into a very dark place. And this which was taking me there into that darkness, I didn't know what it was, but there was some force that was pushing me into this darkness. When I came out of that darkness, through that darkness there was suddenly light, but I didn't see any sun. And I realized this is a place I've never seen before. It was just gold on the floor everywhere. But where I was standing, I noticed it was smoking around me, and there were soldiers of Satan surrounding me. Nobody told me these are soldiers of Satan. I just sensed and knew for myself these are the soldiers of Satan. I was afraid to even look them in the eyes. I just looked upwards. And I just felt that the place where I was in, I began to burn. I felt I was burning to the extent that I was as if I was in a flame of fire. But there was no flame around me. And as I looked up, there was a great white cloud that came down. And the door opened and 6 people came out. And it was as if though they were coming towards me, but they went back into the cloud and only one remained. And I looked at him and I thought, well, this is the person who's going to rescue me in this place where I'm burning. And then as I saw him also turning to go back into the cloud, I cried out and loudly and said, Father, Father, help me, rescue me. And he said, go to the place which you've been working for. He is the man that you've been working for, that those people that are with you now. He said, if you had been living for me, it would be my angels that would be surrounding you now to escort you. And he said, you remember that nurse?